Okay, 40 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock. Welcome inside this beautiful Monday. It's a new Monday. It's a new week. Of course, slowly saying goodbye to June. I'm getting ready to usher in July. I'm telling you, boy, my time waits for nobody, boy. You can't procrastinate, boy. Saying you have ample time to do whatever, boy. You got to do it. Like there's a saying, make hay while the sun shine, boy. You got to do what needs to be done. Hey, if it's between the hours of 10 o'clock and 11, of course, Casualty 911 is on. Of course, with me this morning, she's here. Miss Wilson, welcome inside another edition of Casualty 911.
Morning, Alan.
Bonjour.
I trust that you had a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, by God's grace, yes.
Yeah, you ate some delicious food, some cocoa tea and hot bakes
Definitely.
underneath all that weather.
Yes, sir.
Oh, let me just say good morning to all our listeners. I trust everybody is safe and sound. No damages to your homes. For the farmers, I hope that many of you did not get many damages to your crops. I know a lot of people, all the plantain and green fig trees, fell, but rest assured, you can always go back and plant these things. I know it's a big loss to some of you, and some of us not so very much of a big loss, but rest assured our lives are more important. And as long as everybody at home is safe and sound, and our homes, no damages to our homes, I think we should be okay. This morning we have two parts. One, we're going to speak a little bit about preparing for the hurricane season. And since we're in the carnival season also, we want to speak about preparing yourself, how to take care of yourself during the carnival season, all the revelers, all those that want to participate in all the activities during the carnival season. We want to speak a little about that and so on. All right, so we'll start off with carnival season, Olan.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I know many Suferians and persons island-wide was a little disappointed. Just Sufer Carnival and January Carnival. Well, there have been some postponement of some of these activities. I know some people are disappointed.
Some were cancelled, some were postponed.
Oh, some were cancelled, some were postponed.
Juve.
Oh,
No?
Juve.
Remember Juve?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not someone that really follows carnival to tell you the truth. So I know some people were disappointed, but it's all about person safety, taking precautionary measures because we do not want persons to go out there and not take precautionary measures. So sometimes a disappointment is a blessing for those persons who had already taken their day off from work.
Nah, that's the thing, and boy, it's hard. You know, it's well, depends where you work. It's very difficult
To
to
get
get an
back.
off day, boy.
Yeah, but all in all, it will not be your last carnival.
True.
You'll always get other opportunities to jump mass,
Mm-hmm.
and so have no fear. I mean, things will work out for you. So, I just want young parents and persons to bear that in mind. Although we want to jump mass, we have to check our priorities. What is our priorities? Is it carnival? School is closing just now.
New term,
Yes.
and of course, you have school supplies, necessities.
Books.
You know, right? Especially we're talking about for those who have kids, eh?
For those who have
Yeah,
kids
for those
and
who have kids.
responsibilities.
Yes.
Do not forget you have certain responsibilities. I'm not saying don't go and jump up. Don't go and buy your costumes. How much is a costume now, Ola?
I have no idea. Maybe
You have no idea.
maybe the range from maybe 6 up to maybe 1,005.
Oh, okay.
It depends.
So
where you jumping, you know.
depends where you jumping, which carnival band,
Yeah,
and so on.
yeah.
Wow. You must really research that. So I'm just saying, set your priorities. Think of what you want to accomplish. Is jumping carnival more important to you, Or the next month, your head hot, you have additional stress, and so on. We want people to be mindful of these things.
True, and you
We
know.
want people not to enjoy themselves, but carnival can be a lot of expense. You have the costume, you have the makeup, you have the shoes, you have the hairdos. All of that, I mean, boils down to some kind of amount of money. And if you have responsibilities, you need to set your priorities.
I,
That's all I'm saying about the financial responsibility part. Don't you want to add anything about
yeah,
the
I
financial?
I do agree, and of course, you can be working tirelessly and not want to enjoy yourself. I know
Mm-hmm.
persons have that mindset as well, but you can't afford to be spendthrift. You understand? You have to be very careful. Of course, boy, them kind of time we live in where everything is on their price. You know, so you
That
have to
is
be
true.
very, very, very careful. Again, like you been mentioned, the word, and that should be the word of today: prioritizing things. Priority. If
Mm-hmm.
you don't want it, you don't need it. I mean, it's not a priority. Come on. I mean, like, stray away from it.
Thank you, Ellen.
Hmm.
So, for those persons who are jumping mass, and I know we all know when you go out there, carnival time, it's drinking, having a good time, getting yourself tired, dancing, grinding, enjoying the calypso season. You know, there are some people that are 10 pines, going all out to do
What
everything.
you call them?
The 10 pines.
What's 10 pieces?
They at every show that is the ever.
I call them fetters, eh?
You were?
You know,
I can tell you.
because you know already persons around that time, that season, you have
Mm-hmm.
persons doing that. But these persons most times they don't go out like that. But you see, as long as carnival involved, them kind of
And
thing.
Calypso,
Oh my goodness!
every single
Yeah,
show they have to go to.
you know that person that
And that's
love them.
tradition for them,
There
yes.
you go, perfect with tradition for them.
Yes. So for those persons jumping mass or for those persons going out there, take only what you need. You don't go with all this jewelry, expensive jewelry. You don't go with a
Mm.
lot of cash in your hands or your wallet. You have to take precautionary measures. You know you're going to jump mass, there is no reason to put your, let's say, what kind of watch? Hold on, help me out.
Well, there's Michael Kors.
Yeah, that kind of
There's
thing. There's no reason to put your expensive watch
that's my
on.
Michael Kors one. That's why.
Oh, you see, Ellen is wearing microphones, and I'm wearing the thing.
Oh, you choose
So,
too. That's what you choose.
so you leave all the expensive jewelry home, all the expensive phones. If
Hmm.
you have another option for another phone, you can go ahead, go with it. Um, things that are
Hmm.
very costly, don't go out there with it
And
because you're
yeah,
targeting.
true.
Some persons might just target you.
Yeah, seeing you as a target, you know already. It's like a
Yeah,
recipe for disaster. You know you're going to jump carnival. You have that big chain in your neck.
yeah,
You know
like
what?
a big course you
What
have,
would you expect?
and
Somebody
that's gold again.
there you go again. There you go again. And of course, another thing again, persons do carry weapons.
Mm-hmm,
You understand?
mm-hmm.
They go jump. That one have a knife. That why would you come and jump with a firearm?
Exactly.
You understand what I'm telling you?
Avenger mass.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
So
All
these are
those
the
things,
things
yeah,
you,
man.
yeah. Always wear minimal jewelry, and if you wear your jewelry, it's just fashion stuff, and
Hmm.
that's what you have on you. Um, it's always wise to travel in groups. Um, it's safety in numbers because sometimes when you're there alone, people can target you. I mean, we have all kinds of people out there, and you have to be careful, both men and women, not only women, both men and women.
Hmm.
You're going and jump mass, you don't go alone. You go into the bathroom, you don't go alone. You go with more than one person because you never know who's looking at you, why they're looking at you, and for some reason, I mean, there are different types of criminals out there, and you have to be mindful of all these things. So it's always wise to be in groups and not by yourself, especially if you strain away from the bands or if you're at Calypso and you decide, oh, I want to go out to the bathroom. Always go in groups. Don't display large amounts of money out there. I mean, you go out, you don't pull up
Hmm.
your thing, and you have endless
Hmm.
money showing.
Hmm.
That is just recipe for
Hmm.
disaster. So if you know you're going there, you have your money, it is stored well. Every time you want to take out a 20, only a 20 comes out. Don't display a big pile of money as if you. Mm-mm, that is just not safe.
Again, that is so true, boy. That is so true, boy. You don't know who's on the outside looking in, boy.
Who's
Boy,
watching?
sometimes even those around your circle, you'd be surprised, eh?
Yes. And avoid having your wallets visible to others. You're going to jump mass, you can have your pouches, you can have your side bags, you can have your how you call it, these little bags you have on your back.
Okay, okay, backpack or whatever,
Yeah, you can have your
camelback.
bags as long as your wallets are not visible and you don't go with your entire wallet. You're going to jump mass or you're going in all these activities. Don't leave all your wallet, all your bank cards, all your ID cards. You never know what can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Do not accept drinks from strangers. I mean, that is given, but sometimes when your head is bad,
True,
you
true.
end up accepting drinks from strangers. So please, please, please do not accept drinks from strangers. You never know what can happen. And do not accept drinks that are already open. Somebody bring me a beer, it has to be closed. Walk with your open
Well, with that being said, most times, well, if it's that either you walk with your own
glass.
drinks again,
Yes.
like well, have a camel back, the
Mm-hmm.
camel pack on your back with a straw or whatever, the hose or
Yeah.
whatever. Or if you're being served drink, it's supposed to be in your presence. You have to see what's being done, what's going on.
Very much so. I mean, if they're not serving bottles and so on, and they're serving glasses, make sure you actually go by the bar and see they pour the drink for you. And do not leave your drinks unattended.
Definitely,
That's something
definitely.
I learned early
Early, early, early,
o'clock.
early o'clock.
Do not leave your drinks
Never.
unattended because you never know what can
Why?
happen, who can spike your
Mm-hmm.
drinks. There are so many drugs out there that people spike your drinks with. And lo and behold, you're behaving bad, you go out there, you can get raped, anything can happen to you. I mean, both men and women can get raped
I
nowadays.
mean, you can even cause useless problems for yourself.
That is
You
true.
understand? Sometimes your head bad, you mess with somebody property, somebody vehicle, you
Mm-hmm.
maybe something happened, God forbid, but I'm just simply saying it's the truth.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Keep hydrated. People drink and drink. Oh, I feel like a cold bed. The sun is so hot. But don't forget to continue drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
You do have to drink water. Don't use any other beverages for water as a substitute for water. You have to keep hydrated. Hmm? We talk about bottled drinks have to be open in your presence. You need to have a designated alcohol-free driver or arrange for pre-transport for pre-arrange for transportation. Everybody's going to drink. Nobody's going to miss the fun. Let me hire Erland's minibus to come and pick us up, and so on and so on and so
So
on.
get yourself a maxi or taxi.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you know that, if you're going to bring your children, if you be at some carnival, um, some activities, people bring their children with you, ensure that your children remain with you. You want to jump mass, you want to go to Calypso, you cannot, you don't have a babysitter, you want to bring your children, fine. Bring your children, but ensure that your children stays with you and do not indulge in endless alcoholic beverages whilst you have your children there and you don't know where your child is.
Mm-hmm.
Please, please, please.
Another thing again, I see certain parents or some parents do, especially when they are like a real toddler self, they go close to the sound system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that
and
can
you
be
you know how that
loud
detrimental to
that
the
is,
eardrum,
the
yeah,
eardrum.
of a child. Yeah, especially like I
Mm-hmm.
did mention a toddler. So
That's true.
persons need to come on, man. It's reality. Persons need to acknowledge that.
Yeah, and sometimes you go out there and you see newborns. Some people have children that are less than a month among so many people in these mass events.
Hmm.
I believe yes you can, but you have to distance yourself
You
away
have
from
to. You
these
should.
mass crowds
You should.
because you're exposing that child to so many
Hmm.
things.
Imagine if COVID was
Mm,
right?
yes.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. It's like as if some parents believe that they don't want to miss out
A
on
front seat.
any
No,
of
not
the
that. They want the
activities.
front seat. Yeah,
Yes.
they don't take. They don't matter at what cost it comes, but they want a front row seat. You
Yes.
understand?
And the thing is that you have to think of your child. And you know, some people are quick to say, I am not stopping my life because of my child. I'm not stopping having fun because of my child and or my children. But you do not want to introduce your children to this kind of lifestyle at a very early age.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you don't want to put them at risk at such an early age. You understand?
Right.
Because I mean, as parents, we're there to protect ourselves. It's true sometimes we feel tied down with our children, but there are certain things you can do and have fun with your children. It doesn't have to be these mass events and so on, putting your children at risk. Because there are so many violence out there, you know. Um, people are drunk. There's always a
Yeah. Or
fight and
somebody got
so
in
on.
somebody get in an altercation there when bottles start
Yes,
flinging or something. And another again, boy. And I think
some hostile situations.
the proprietors should take heed there, especially boy when you have them kind of events serving out of bottles. I mean, like
Mm,
cups would be one of the best things to
best
you
things,
understand.
yes.
But sometimes, boy, at the time the pressure on you there, boy.
I
I've
can tell
seen
you,
it. Now I've seen it,
I've been in it, and I
boy.
can tell
The
you that
pressure on you there, boy. You think it's about cups you go look at to serve,
for
and persons giving you pressure there for the drinks. You're not ready because they
mm,
self have a few to consume already. And
that is
boy,
so true
you
because I
have to
grew
meet the
up in a
demand.
bar, yeah,
I boy, tell you
and I
boy.
work mass events, so I can tell you the very same
Mm-hmm.
thing you tell the vendors not to do. That's the very same
Tip.
thing they do. Yes, especially when it's peak time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very much so. You understand? Now, we spoke about you being at the event, but what about you leaving your homes now? Have you actually thought of securing your homes before you leave for the event? Because many people they go out there, they leave their homes unsecured, and when they come back, I mean somebody has already broken and entered into their house. And you have to be mindful of all of these things because some people, they monitor.
That is so true.
They monitor, they see you walk by with your carnival costume, everybody in the house. I mean,
Yeah, the house is vacant. Yeah,
the
everybody
house
out.
is
Yeah.
empty. You see the neighborhood empty.
Mm-hmm.
And they really take that opportunity. So you have to be mindful of all these things.
Those
If
looters,
you
eh?
secure your premises, if you have an alarm, set your alarm for
Mm-hmm.
your
True.
house, all of these things.
Cameras.
Cameras,
Mhm.
oh, people have cameras at
Yeah,
home now.
right now that's a big thing right now. A lot of us have cameras.
Yeah, that is true. I said I ready to put a
A
camera.
lot of us have cameras.
And the other thing is, don't leave keys where people know you normally leave keys under the fire, the mat underneath the
Flower pot.
flower pot. These are common places people look for. You have to be mindful of all of these things. Now, amidst all of that, I mean, you have to secure your home. You have to do all what you have to do. Don't forget when you come back at home. Ensure that the person who's dropping you at your home sees that you enter the house. A lot of people, and they come out there, and by the time they try, because you're already drunk, you're looking for keys and you're looking for this, and somebody can come up to you. I know that are things we're not normally mindful of. We say in sweet Saint Lucia,
How?
but you
It
have to
happens,
be
eh?
mindful of all these
It
things.
happens.
And not only during the carnival season, if you go out on a date
Mm-hmm.
and
Tell us
somebody
about
drop
it.
you home.
Tell us
You
about it.
see, you had to make me laugh big time. And it's true that happened to me. And I had to call when I go inside, I had to call them and say, you never know it until I go inside.
Uh-oh.
And then the person, oh, call me when we drive, she's called the VA and you go and sleep in your bed. I'm sure many people say that. So I mean, see the person in before you drive off. You never know who is waiting for that person outside.
Mhm.
I mean, these are things we experience. I mean, I'll not remove myself from it, and so on. And especially if your partner is the one driving you to and from the place, and you're going to live at the same area, both men and women. If it's your woman that goes and drop you, allow her to. Well, if you're a man, I wouldn't want to see you go in. But if you're a
What?
woman, I mean, let your partner see you go in first.
So what if the umbrella man?
You're a man.
Okay.
You see the stigma attached.
Oh,
You see the
okay.
stigma?
All right. All right.
So that's one of the things we want persons to be mindful of. And driving signs, a lot of accidents happen during that time. People speed, people disregard driving signs, they always try to make a shortcut, they try to do this. Follow your traffic signs, ensure that you drive within the speed limit. All of these things you need to do. And be observant of your surrounding and the people around you. Many people, my head bad, so they don't have time to observe things around them. But be mindful. You have how many days of carnival? You don't have to be drunk all 3 days, or you don't have to be, indulging in other substances all 3 days. You can take one day easy. It won't kill you. Even if you say, I take all that money, VIP or whatever it is, you want to, enjoy your money's worth, but at the end of the day, you're doing more harm than good to your body, and that's one of the things you have to be, you know,
Mindful of.
very mindful of.
Mm-hmm.
So, having said that, I think I need a coffee. Hi. Having said that, I just want persons to take precautionary measures during the carnival season. There are a lot of messages out there from different organizations, asking you, to beware, take precautions, and it's up to you now to do these things. I know there are messages from substance abuse, there are the messages from the police, there are messages from Ministry of Health. So take heed of all these things and so on. And hello, for men and women, if you're going to indulge in sexual activities, do not forget to protect yourself,
Mm-hmm.
to prevent unwanted pregnancies,
STD.
STIs,
Yeah.
and so on. I know I did not mention it, but now that it came to mind, and please, that one life to live, let's leave it at the back burner for once. Because even if it's one life to live, you don't want the next 10 years you have to live you
On meds.
suffering, you under stress,
Mm-hmm.
you cripple one place and so on. It's not about one life to live. It's yes, you have one life to live, but you live that one life in a way you get to enjoy it till the end and not be a burden to people and not be a burden to, society in the end because of risky behaviors. Yeah. Having said that, that is it for the carnival season messages. And then you want to add anything?
Of course, if you want to make a contribution, you can simply send us a WhatsApp. All right, send us a message at 730-5388. All right, you want to get interactive? Of course, 459-7888. All right, 459-7888. Feel free to call us. All right, again, WhatsApp 730-5388. You can send a voice note, send a text message, WhatsApp message. We're here to facilitate. Okay, nice.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're boiling down to the hurricane season.
Oh, hurricane.
So, I mean, last week we had a storm out, and a lot of people, yes, Brett or wet?
Brett.
Oh,
Wet?
I'm just pulling your leg.
Oh.
They had some memes about Brett, and then they put a box in the eye of the hurricane.
Oh.
So I'm just saying this just to, us St. Lucians like to say we were a praying nation, we will never get hit. But it does not hurt to be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
You do not have to, you can have one container and start storing food items. You don't have, every time you go to the supermarket, you can take one item. Instead of rushing on that day and your bucket half empty like mine and trying to get everything on that day. It does not work so. Because when you least expect, that's the time when you really, really broke and you hear a storm or a hurricane, how can you buy things? So make a plan. Sit down with the family, discuss what you're going to do. We're going to have that plastic container. We're going to store all our hurricane supplies and
Yes.
so on. Our food items, children do not use it, do not eat it, and be mindful because that's what we're going to. So every week, this is what we're going to have. We're going to put in that amount of food item in that box until after the season. Okay? So you make a plan. Who is responsible for what? Dad is responsible for looking at the roof, the guttering. Mom is responsible for ensuring there are emergency supply kits, all of these things. Another child is responsible for, you know, let's say, ensuring that they remove all unwanted items in the house and so on. So you make a plan and ensure that everybody follows suit with the plan. Doesn't make sense to make a plan and then you never follow through. A lot of people have water tanks, they never get the water tank connected. And last minute they hear storm, everybody's trying to get the water tank connected. So if you know you have a water tank just lying around and so on, get it connected because you know we're in the hurricane season and have it well secured. So you have your food and water supply, at least a 3 day water supply and food supply for 3 days. At least 1 gallon of water per each individual. So that means you have to really store a lot of water.
Yeah, man. Purpose in.
And yeah, per person. And if you have pets too. Per persons are like a lot of pets. You have to ensure that you have all of these things. You have to have an emergency medicine supply. You're asking persons like persons with chronic diseases, hypertension, diabetes, come in and have an extra month supply of medication. You must do that. If you don't do that, after the storm, I mean, many times these facilities might have damages and so on, and you cannot get your
That is so true.
medication.
That is true.
So if you know you
That
have
is
a
true.
chronic disease or any illness for that matter of fact, and you cannot do without the medication, come in, get an additional month's supply of that medication. All right? And persons, a lot of persons don't do these things, and after the storm or after the hurricane, they want to put blame on every official that is there. But you must understand that these persons, these professionals, also have a family and they have family responsibilities. For example, let's say I am the pharmacist. I might get damage to my home too. I might have children at home. I have a husband at home. I might have responsibility to take care of my home first before I can come out there. I cannot come and say, "Oh, let me go and check on the pharmacy and my roof is gone." I have to take care of my responsibilities first. So whilst you out there saying no medication, no this, you never know what could have happened to that individual.
True.
So you have to be mindful of these things, and that is why from now on they're asking you to have an additional month supply of your medication. And don't take it for granted. So what if the pharmacy is damaged? What if all the medication got wet and you cannot use these items again? Or the power is gone because of whatever and there is no alternative source of power, that means you'll not be able to get the medication. So you have to be mindful of all of these things. You must have an emergency power sources such as flashlights and get extra batteries. I know batteries are very, very expensive nowadays, but don't hesitate. But nowadays there are so many things other devices you can use that are very energy saving.
Solar.
Solar.
Most appliances that have been sold right now, it comes with a small solar bar panel on it.
Really?
Yeah, radios, flashlight. Yeah, they have rechargeable battery in there.
Yeah, I saw my mom had on the radio and had some solar thing. I said, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
So it has a component of
Yeah,
solar
the
in.
light gets light, the light charges the battery.
Ah, at one point, only solar batteries, only solar calculators I knew.
Yeah.
But now things are
That's a
slowly
that's
changing.
a big thing right now, because
Really?
there's persons that even want to stay off the grid.
Really?
Yeah.
So, like Alan said, there are certain things with special features that has a solar aspect to it. Because Alan is really into those things. So, research. Everybody's online researching all kinds of things. That's one of the things you can do, and so on. And these things are very, very reasonable
Mm-hmm.
in price and in cost. So you have an emergency power source and so on. It's not always about your phone, making sure that your phone is charged and everything else goes down the drain, like some of us did for the storm. So be mindful of all of these things. Safety and personal items, your land papers, birth certificates, passports, all of these documents need to be safe in Ziploc bags and so on. You store them in an area where nothing will happen to it. Or on the day, I remember some years ago, a lady, it was some they had there, and the lady, I mean, she wouldn't walk without her bag. It was an older lady. She wouldn't walk without her bag, and people used to give her jokes if that's the bag of money. But it was just her personal documents she had in there, and everywhere she went with it. So that's to show you on that day, you have all your personal items in that bag.
True.
It's grab and go in the event you have to leave the house. So that's one of the things you must do. Um, all your medical documents, your wills, all of these things, and personal identification. That is so important to make sure you do all of these things. Um, if you have insurances, home insurance, make sure you know what your home insurance is about. A lot of people get clocked in that kind of thing.
Lots of people do it.
Thinking their house is insured against this, that, and that, and that, and that. Or their
Things need to be
furniture.
revised, guys. All them things need to be revised, guys.
Yeah.
You serious?
And then when the time comes, they tell them they will not insured about this, they will not insured about
You was insured
that.
for water, not fire. You was insured for fire, not water. Not for earthquakes, but for.
So you have to be mindful of all of these things and to ensure that everything is in order, or you pay your insurance premiums already. When that time comes, they tell you have not paid. Yeah. You wonder, I've been paying for 50 years, and 1 month I have not paid because it happened that month. That means, you have to be mindful of all these things, be on the ball with all your payments, and so on. Um, the other thing is, if persons have children, um, make sure that you have enough to meet your baby's needs, the formula, the diapers, and so on. Because I mean, for a child, with you, it's different. As only in the event that you don't have special dietary needs as an adult, but a child, you must ensure that the child has all what they need: the formula, the diapers, the medication, and so on. So you have to take time to ensure you have at least a 3 day supply of your baby's needs.
Good vibes.
You understand? Because a lot of people, I mean, they say, oh, Tete, when he left. No, you have to have a backup in the event of anything.
Sometimes you fall sick.
Yeah, sometimes you fall sick. Or because of that level of stress, you can hardly breastfeed and so on. So it's always wise, you know, to have a backup and to have these supplies, at least a 3 day supply at hand. And we're saying that to you Last year we said the same thing, and this year we're saying the same thing. But yet still, after a storm or a hurricane or a natural disaster, you hear a lot of people complain they have nothing after the day after. And sometimes you're wondering what happened. Did they actually get so much damage that they don't have any of these things? Or they will never prepare themselves. So these are the things we want people to ask themselves. I mean, if your house is not damaged, but however, all stores are closed, there is power failure. But if you have food at home, there is no reason to complain. Or if you had some water storage containers, like you had water stored in containers, you will be okay because there is no damage to your home. Why start complaining you have nothing? That's because you were not prepared. It's true some people get a lot of damage to their homes. Whatever they prepared on the day is just gone. I can understand for these persons. But for persons that hardly got any damage to their homes, you can't tell me you don't have food at your home. You should have stocked up and so on. And you have to be your neighbor's keeper around that time.
Boy,
Especially there are poor people in the community. Community members have to come together to take care of these persons. Don't be stingy. I mean, if you have food, share the food.
in times like that, you know who's your neighbor, who's your friends, boy. When you
That
fly
is so
out,
true, Erlan,
yeah.
and so on.
When water start flooding your house, boy, who's gonna open their doors to welcome you in?
To welcome you in,
You
who's
understand?
going to give you a loaf of bread? I don't mean physically give you a loaf of bread.
Yeah,
I
but
can tell you, we have 5 packets of salted biscuit, but I can share one with you.
imagine you living in a neighborhood, and
Mm-hmm.
of course, boy, nobody are dealing with you.
Nobody you're dealing with
As
you.
your roof fly
And,
out.
and your roof fly. Your house get flooded. All your beds and everything.
What going on, boy?
Who going to look after you? Nobody. Everybody will stand up and watch. But although, I mean, our community people sometimes they can be very soft-hearted.
Mm-hmm.
They will still come and assist, and if you willing so that they can help, they will help. But I mean, some people have their own personality. They might just, pride.
Mm-hmm.
They might decide they don't want the help, and that is why it is always wise. I mean, I'm not saying you have to be your neighbor's best friend, but that's where the courtesy comes into play. You understand? Good
Mm-hmm.
morning, good afternoon. How are you today? I mean, these are times we really need our neighbors and our neighbors' help. It's not about us. Or don't look at our neighbors because you own that big house with pillars and our neighbors are lower down that you feel you can look down on them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, everybody will be in the same boat. I mean, most persons are in the same boat after a natural disaster, especially if we get some really hard blows. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Category one. From the category ones, what? You have to be category one, huh? Yeah, if I do get a blue, huh?
so having said that, I want to leave these messages with our listeners today. Um, we're hoping that they will take it into consideration. We hope everybody take it into consideration. This is not new information. These are things you know. Whether you practice it or not, it's up to you. And we're hoping that persons will take these things into consideration. And especially for our persons during the not hurricane, carnival season participating in the carnival activities. We want to make sure that you stay safe and we want to make sure that everything goes well without injury, accident, or any kind of injury. So, having said that, I would like to wish everybody a safe week. Don't forget one more message. Don't forget our men's health clinic at Sophia
What
Hospital
is that?
every first and third Wednesday of every month. Our numbers are starting to drop. We're encouraging all the young men, middle-aged men to come and have a relationship with our doctors. Sit down and speak to them. Start doing your annual examinations, your annual tests. It is very, very, very important
Check Gwen's out.
to do so, like Alan said, check Gwenzo. But it's not only that. I mean, sometimes you have other issues. You have family medical history that you really do not want. You know, you're seeing the signs now and you don't want it to reach a certain level. Find out if you're prone to these illnesses too, because it might be hereditary.
True.
And so on. I mean, we're encouraging the men to come out. A few men come routinely doing their follow-ups and so on. I'm very, very proud of them. But we're asking other men to come. You've been seen by a male doctor. All your information is kept private. So we really want the men, especially the younger men, the middle-aged men. We're seeing more of the older men coming in. But the younger men and the middle-aged men, we're very encouraging you to come. I've never seen Erlan. I'm still waiting to see Erlan.
You just been in that room too?
No, I haven't been there. I haven't been there, Erlan. But honestly, we know some people prefer their private practitioner, and a lot of people go to their private practitioner. But for community members, we really encourage you to come out. Um, for persons that want a level of that don't feel comfortable coming to Sufia Hospital, Mikul Wellness Center is also having men's health clinic every third Saturday of every month. Good Wellness Center every third Saturday of every month. You can give them a call and they will guide you accordingly. Sometimes we want to go in our own community, although we encourage persons to utilize the services that are in our own community. So, young men, middle aged men, don't forget Men's Health Clinic every third Wednesday. First and third Wednesday of every month. So, having said that, let me say good morning. I forgot to say good morning to M&C Hotel Chocolat.
Hey, big up Mr. Blocky. Good morning to you, Mr. Blocky, over at Upper Victoria Street. Shout out to Sidewalk University Barbershop. They're always locked on Rice Berries, Big up to all. Boy, Rice, how you doing this morning, buddy?
Oh, Rice is always locked on.
Yes. Of course, Ali Supermarket, Massy. Yeah, always the credit union.
Really?
Yep.
I never knew. I never knew
The folks over at Shoppers Choice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, definitely always locked on.
OJ Sidewalk.
OJ's, yes, OJ's as well. We got myself Odell and the rest of the team over there. Somebody else,
Hmm. Who
Oh,
else?
Felix. Felix is always Felix Abraham. He's always locked on. Big up yourself.
I don't know, Felix.
Hmm.
I might know in my future. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really happy we have so many listeners, but we
And
would really like them to call.
I apologize for the rest I can't remember for the time. There's so many of y'all, and we love and appreciate y'all. All right, thanks for making it Super 88.5. Thanks for being part of our family. All right, thank you immensely.
That is so true, Ola. So everybody have a blessed week, like I said before, and take care.
All right.
Oh, we didn't say hello to Romanas.
Oh, big up yourself, room. Big up
Let's
room.
not
Big up
forget Rome. Not only
Yeah.
when we have technical.
Big up yourself, room, and all our avid listeners. All right, we love and of course appreciate you.